Hello all, this is Halloween, and if you love haunted history and cemeteries as much as I do, you may want to subscribe because I'm going to be taking you somewhere new every week. Today is the 4th of July and it falls on a Tuesday, but we're off, so we're going to head over to the Bay Pines National Cemetery on this beautiful 4th of July day. And we're taking you with us. Enjoy. We've arrived at Doc Ford's Rum Bar and Grill. We're gonna go in and get a bite to eat. We're here at Bay Pines National Cemetery to pay respects to all of the veterans who have served. All gave some gave all. Let's go in and see what we can see. We're here at the Blue Star Veterans Memorial. Just as you come into the entrance, it's off to the left-hand side. And it's just a little memorial here. This sign here, which I did take a still shot of, tells you about the Blue Star Memorial, a tribute to the armed forces who have defended the United States of America. And then over here, it's a little ground plaque here that says, "Sons of the Dark and Blood, ye must not slumber there where stranger steps and tongue along the heedless air. Your own proud land's heroic soil shall be your fitter grave. She claims from war his richest spoil, the ashes of her brave." This sky is really cool. The way this looks when you're walking up almost looks ghostly. the image on the left-hand side there. Just the way that they've done it and the way that it's etched in the marble. It says, dedicated to the prisoners of war and those missing in action, whose supreme sacrifice has helped keep our nation ever free. God bless and thank you for your service. This bench here is for the American ex-prisoners of war. And over here as well, another memorial. Let me see if there's anything on the other side. As you can see, the grounds are beautiful. The trees are gorgeous. There's a couple of banyan trees here, which is probably my favorite tree. And just, of course, awesomely manicured and maintained. A beautiful pond over there with fountain to reflect on. It's just gorgeous. And there is a nearby park as well. You can go kayaking and all of that to the Bay Pines Memorial Park. It's just a beautiful area, period. And it's a hot day, but it's a nice breezy day. So it should be a nice little stroll through the cemetery. You can see how pretty the walkway is. It's all canopied in. The birds are really vocal today. This path over here. Grounds are just so beautiful, and there's a lot of people here paying respects for obvious reason. You know, this was the day we got our independence. America became the land of the free and the home of the brave. On this day, July 4th, 1776, which if you didn't already know, If you've seen the Statue of Liberty, the palette that she holds in her arm reads in Roman numerals, July 4th, 1776. Everything our country knows and loves, all those freedoms, and your freedom of speech, your right to bear arms. You have that because of these men and women. Headed over here right now. Looks like a niche. Just to check it out. I don't see any names though. I don't see any names on this side. It's very large. Look how big it is. It's possible that these are just newer. Yes, because now I'm seeing some names. Oh, look at this. Reminds me of a favorite painting of my dad's. If you've ever seen it, it's a man holding his hand up to the wall in the Veterans Vietnam Memorial in Washington, D.C. I believe it is Vietnam, and there's a man that's holding his hand up, you know, to the wall where his brother's name was. And if you can look at that painting and not shed a tear, you need to check your pulse, because just talking about it it's so touching. At the same time, you're so grateful for the sacrifices that these men and women have made for this country, because they loved it as you and I do, and they were willing to give their lives. Being here today on Independence Day 2023 is very surreal, because it just reminds you of how fortunate you are to be in such a great country. Well, you know, some of these are just veterans that did serve. Like I said, all gave some, and some gave all. To the veterans, I salute you. Because any of these prisoners of war, or those that lost their lives, it could have been you. And you signed that paper knowing that. And you are willing. Just being willing to give your life for your country is an honorable thing. Today's not all about hamburgers and hot dogs and the beach and fireworks. It's about these people right here. Look, so many aisles that are full of names. Which just touches you right to your core. It's a gorgeous cemetery. In this particular area, there's not a lot of shade, so it is a hot one. I'm baking out here. I think I'm done. I think I'm ready. Take me out of the oven. But it's just so surreal. I would recommend a walk through the Veterans Cemetery to anybody, because people seem to have forgotten what this country's about and where our foundation lies. They've become very entitled. They've become very greedy. They've become very hateful and unappreciative. They've forgotten that this is one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Not just any one group of people, for everyone. And that is what every one of these soldiers fought for. And they deserve the utmost respect and appreciation from everyone for their sacrifice to this country. Prior to coming here, my dad told me about it. He told me that they had these, so many of these footstone looking headstones, basically just a plaque here. And I said, that sounds like it could be a cenotaph. And a cenotaph, if you've watched some of my other videos, is when somebody has passed away, like let's say it's a war veteran who never came home. They never found their body. They might have a cenotaph made in their honor and place the cenotaph in the National Cemetery for an honorable memorial service, sort of. These are actually for buried cremains, and that's why they are so tight together. It does say that they do bury some at the request of the family. They can have full burials, but the majority of the burials here, the interments, are actually the cremains. And as you can see, they had the huge niche over here. Those two are for cremains. So pretty much everyone here has been cremated. It's a beautiful cemetery, but as far as, you know, headstones and stuff like that, they're all very uniform, a lot of them the same. I'm sure there are very important generals, sergeants, and everything like that buried here as well. I didn't get to look into that too much. This was kind of a last minute trip that we took. But if I can find some things online, some VIPs online, I'll definitely put that in this video somewhere. But finding them out here would be like a needle in a haystack anyway, so there wouldn't be a possibility of that, because it's all flat, just these plaques, and there are thousands. There's thousands all over the grounds, and lots of people here today to visit loved ones, all dressed in their patriotic attire. It's really nice to see. And it's hot in the sun, but it's breezy in the shade, so blessed with that. So it's very possible that some of these in previous videos it was the same thing. It was not all people lost at war or cenotaphs, but it was maybe like the Civil War veterans that I saw in Cincinnati. That could have been cremains as well. You know, it didn't really say a whole lot about that. So There's a lot of space here. And just look at how much it's filled up. I mean, it's just memorial to memorial, just stacked, and in the niches as well. Just, it's not all the way full, but there are thousands of burials here. And like I said, these are cremains. These look like actual burials because you can see on this side might be where they're placing the burials. You can be buried at request. It's only for the honorably discharged who served. They do not allow dishonorable discharges in this particular cemetery. So these look like actual burials. These are footstones. So with a footstone, actual burial is above the stone, and the stone is placed at the foot of the burial. And that looks like what's going on over here, that they're going to make this for those who request to be buried. And then everybody there on the other side, which is going to be the majority of the interments here, is going to be the cremated. So you just got to walk a little further and there's even more burials out here. So it wasn't actually an empty space after all. There's thousands more burials out here probably. They're just lined up. Now these are actually burials, not cremains. So it's wild because if you looked beyond the grass here, just walk with me, it looks like nothing. And then you get right up on it and there's more going all the way to the end. Look at that empty field out there. And nope, just a lot more burials here. Pretty outstanding. We're headed out of the cemetery now. Get cooled off somewhere, hopefully. I hope you enjoyed the Bay Pines National Cemetery. It's touching. You might want to bring some tissues if you do come, and you know, dress. It's pretty big. You might want to wear comfortable shoes. Make sure you're dressed for the hot weather. It is July in Florida and it is baking out here. So if you haven't noticed, thank you to all who have served our country and know how appreciated you are. From all of us God-fearing patriot Americans who love our country. We appreciate your sacrifice. Thank you for keeping our country free. Thank you so much for joining me again today, and happy 4th of July. I know once you see this, it will already have passed. However, in my opinion, for me, every day is the 4th of July. I love my country. I am an American patriot, and I love all of you, and this country is for all of us. And the people who have served are keeping it that way. If not for them, we would not have our beautiful country. And I want to thank everyone out there, all of the veterans who have served, those who are just getting into the military, and those who continue to fight for our freedoms. It's a continuous fight that we'll be involved in until the end of the world. You know, when you are a free country that has so much to offer, there is a lot to fight for and a lot to protect and a lot to maintain. So happy 4th of July. Thank you all for your service. To those who lost their lives, rest in peace. And if you haven't already, please remember to like, subscribe, and share the video. That does it for today's episode. I'll see you next time.